Hello and welcome to Mollie's Motif. This is Emily, and this week over at Fantabulous Cricut we have another challenge for you, and it's all about your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. And we want to see your projects, your cards, your layouts that have to do with not necessarily going back to school, but incorporating your letters and numbers in your projects. And so the project that I came up with, I wanted to create something for my 4-year-old son. He just started preschool, and I did see something on Pinterest that I said that would be fun to do, but I just went with that project, but I elaborated on it. So it's a little bit more extensive than what I saw on Pinterest, but it's still a very basic project. I basically I used my Bind It All to put together an ABC book for my son. And I've got a couple pieces of chipboard that I covered with some paper from Die Cuts with a View. It's all about boys mat stack, and so the front and back cover, I really like that, the alphabet paper on that. But that's about as cute as it's going to get, because this is for my 4-year-old rough and tumble little boy, and I didn't want to put too much into it just because he will destroy anything. So, but I did want to focus more on, helping him write his ABCs. And so I put this together, and then what I ended up doing was just printing out every letter in upper and lower case, laminating the sheet so that it becomes a dry erase board, and he'll be able to take a dry erase marker and practice writing his ABCs, and then he can erase it and repractice and reuse it. So this is the project that I came up with, and I did use the cartridge Nate's ABCs because I really like the font on this cartridge. It's a very basic font for somebody starting out learning how to write and read, and I just used the font number 2 and printed out the upper and the lower case on each one of my papers, and then I ran it through my laminating machine. I have the Your Story laminating and binding machine. And so I just had some laminating sheets that I ran through there. And I love the fact that it becomes dry erase. I really like that dual purpose of a laminating sheet. And so, yep, this is my project. It's very simple, it's very basic, but it's very practical. And, for all intents and purposes of what I want it for, to help my son learn how to write his ABCs, I love it. So I'm excited about how that turned out. But I didn't cut the letters out, I drew them. I drew them on my Cricut machine with these Cri-Kit gel pens. And this is a new product that I saw, and I wanted to get it. I wanted to give something like this a try, because I know that there's pens and markers out there, but when I saw this, I really liked the fact that it has a magnetic holder so that the pen stays in place and you're not going to get any, wobbly or kind of skewed lines. So that's kind of what drew me to this particular brand of pens for your Cricut machine. And I ordered them on, it's cri-kits.com. So that's the website I went to order these. And I think that they have a few other color options. I just got the regular in neon colors. I think they have like pastels, and I think they even have markers. But this is what I ordered, and I wanted to just kind of show you how this works in the machine. Okay, so here are the pens that I ordered, and this is the magnetic holder that came with my kit, and I just think that this is an ingenious idea. Each of the pens has a magnet at the base, so that when you slide it into the holder, it locks into place. That magnet just holds it there, and it's not going to go anywhere as it's drawing your images on your paper. So I really like that concept, and I just kind of want to show you how it works in the machine. So I'll get it set up. So I'm going to go ahead and get my pen tightened in to where the blade usually goes. And I always put a scratch paper because I don't want to write on my machine. So I'll go ahead and get that put in there, tightened up. Let me change out my cartridge. I'm going to be drawing, just as a sample, from Life's a Party cartridge. I'm going to be drawing out the skull here, and then the words "A Pirate's Life for Me." So I'll get that all set up. Let me take out my scratch paper. Okay, mode mat. And then we will just do shift and skull. Make sure that comes up right when I want. Okay, and I'm going to make it pretty big, so we'll just do 5 inches just for this, just to show you how it works. And we will cut, or draw in this case. And the Cri-Kits, they come with some instructions, and they do recommend having your pressure at 3 and your speed at 2. So that's why it's a little bit slower, because those are the recommended settings from the Cri-Kits company. And I can try to zoom in. That's zooming out. Let's see. See if you can see as it's drawing how it's going. But it's just so accurate. I mean, just as it cuts when you have your blade in there, it draws just as accurate. And I just really think that that magnetic holder makes a really big difference in keeping the pen very secure, so that you don't have any wobbled lines, and that everything just matches up just so precise. So if you can kind of see how that's going. Okay, so if you can see that, just looks so awesome. I think it's just so crisp and so clean. Like, the lines are just so perfect. I'm just really, really happy with these gel pens and how they work in the machine. So I'll go ahead and do the other side. I'm going to do the Pirate's Life for Me, just so you can see how it does the fonts and the different phrases and how well. Okay, and here is how the phrase turned out. And again, I'm just really pleased with the way that these pens work. I just think the edges are very crisp and just perfect. And if you look at that skull, I just wouldn't even think that that came out of my Cricut machine. It just is amazing to me that that was drawn in my machine. I really like how these pens work. I think they're smooth. I really like that magnetic holder, that function on there, just to ensure that that pen's not going to go anywhere. So I appreciate you taking the time. I know this was kind of more of a different video, but again, we do have that challenge going on over at Fantabulous Cricut to use your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. And this, my project again, I just made a little workbook, laminated workbook for my little boy so that he can practice his letters, and these are all drawn out with those Cricut pens. I use different colors, and you know, I know it's very basic, but functionality, it's perfect. And I really think that he's gonna have fun drawing with the dry erase and erasing and re-practicing. So, well, that's my hope anyway. So, but I hope you're able to join us this week over at Fantabulous Cricut. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. I'd appreciate any comments or feedback that you might have, and we will catch you next time.